Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and today I'm actually going to have the chance to review another one of your viewer requests. Yep, that's right, this time we're going to be going over microchargers. Microchargers are a new line of miniature cars from Moose. Actually, now that I think of it, there have been a lot of little car sets that have come out lately. I mean, along with microchargers, we got Nanospeed, Sonic City, Nitromites, Spinball Racers. What, did the patent for micro machines just expire or something? Anyway, microchargers are the fanciest of these cars to come out of this new wave in that they actually contain an electric motor powered by a small battery inside of them. These cars are charged up using this small charger here that kind of resembles a Pokeblock dispenser. Yeah, I actually own a Pokeblock dispenser, can you believe that? Anyway, when the cars are put into the front portion and the red button is pressed, it allows the cars to charge up their internal battery. Hitting the green button turns them loose. The launcher also doubles as a storage device in that it can store one car in the top along with their little information card in the side. They say not to store one in the front, but I find if you flip it around so that it's not touching the contacts, then you can store a second car in here, so this thing can really carry two. There are two types of microchargers cars. There's the stunt cars, which have a red bottom, and the race cars, which have a blue bottom. There actually is a fairly significant difference between these two, in that the stunt cars contain a much more powerful engine, meaning that they are faster and have better torque to allow them to perform various stunts, while the racing cars with their weaker engines are able to last a whole lot longer on one charge. Now, I was sent the Loop Track, which is a stunt set, which means I want to be using the stunt microcharger in order to get it to work right, because the racer just doesn't quite have the speed to do it. Now, the actual track is 5 feet long and made out of a lot of parts that are meant to be held together with these clips that are kind of compatible with like Hot Wheels track and stuff, but there's a whole lot to it, so I'll just give you the short version. The short version, it's a shortened version of the track, it's a pun, Moving on. So they recommend that you charge it for about 8 seconds, and here you can tell the difference between the kinds of cars because the stunt cars get a really high-pitched whine when you charge them up. Anyway, I think it's ready, so let's give it a shot. You see that? See if I can get it to do it again. Goes around the loop, comes back around, then hits the burnout track. It's a fairly simple kind of track, and it works well enough. It's a bit fast, but when you have the longer track, it's a bit better because it really needs a lot of this good stretch in order to build up enough speed in order to do it. The race ones, maybe if it gets a whole lot of time to build up speed, can make a loop sometimes, but it's just not as powerful. There's also a time track, which is a long looping track for the racing cars, which really allows them to test out their stamina by having them go around the track several times. So the loop track, it's pretty good for kind of the general premise, and I imagine you can combine it with the time track in order to make something bigger, but I find it's also pretty fun to experiment with the different kinds of tracks that are out there with these things. For example, I find I get some pretty fine results with my Inazuma O Kibagurui battle track. Yeah, remember those instant cars that I reviewed a while ago where you combine these cars together and you punch it out and you have an instant race car? Yeah, I'm still collecting those. Anyway, the Kibagurui racetrack works surprisingly well because of these large straightaways here that expand out. The cars, they react in all kinds of fun ways on this track. The curves are just barely wide enough so that they can get past each other. They crash, they'll randomly change direction, they'll do all kinds of random things to each other, and it's just really fun to watch them. It's really kind of satisfying to watch with the randomness and the unpredictability that you can get on this track. So I say if you have any other kind of loop tracks that are kind of like this one here that are otherwise fairly flat, I'd say give it a try with the microchargers. It's actually pretty fun to experiment with. So anyway, that is microchargers from Moose. They've actually said that I can give one of you guys one of the basic charger sets that come with a charger and a car for free, and you'll just have to check out the contest details below on that. But anyway, I think they're pretty fun because they're electrically powered. They'll last a whole lot longer with their running time compared to things like Nanospeed or otherwise. And if you can find a whole bunch of different tracks to experiment with, like in particular, if you can find your own copy of the Kibagurui battle set, it's a whole lot of fun. So anyway, that's microchargers, and this is Kohdok signing off.